So hello students, in this video I will discuss some miscellaneous examples on network analysis. So let us first see this example. Using superposition theorem, you have to find what will be output voltage VO. So in this case, as you can see, we have two voltage source. Call this as voltage source 1 and this is voltage source 2. So you have to use superposition. So you know in superposition you have to find voltage due to individual source. So first consider source 1. We have source 1 only and draw equivalent circuit. So we can easily draw. Let us draw the equivalent circuit. And this source is short circuited. Source 2 is short circuited. And this drop is, this is 240 volt. This will be 20k and this will be 40k. So this polarity will be plus minus. Call this voltage as VO dash. So you can easily find VO dash. So VO dash is given by, VO dash will be given by, you can easily use voltage division rule. So drop will be 40k by 40k plus 20k into 240 volt. Now we have to solve this. So this will be 60. So this will be 4 times. So total voltage is 160 volt. So VO dash with this polarity is 160 volt. This is the voltage drop due to source 1 only. Now you have to consider source 2. So if you consider source 2, so now this source will be short circuited. Source 1 is short circuited. This resistance is same 20k. You have to find this drop. This polarity is plus minus. So plus minus 60 volt. This is 40k. So accordingly this drop will be plus minus. This voltage is VO double dash. So you can easily find VO double dash. VO double dash is given by, again, voltage division rule. So this will be 20k by 20k plus 40k into 60 volt. So VO double dash is 20 volt. So VO dash is 160 volt and VO double dash is 20 volt. Now if you see their polarity, this polarity is minus plus and this polarity is plus minus. So what will be resultant voltage? So resultant voltage you can write in this case magnitude of VO. What will be magnitude of VO? So that is simply mod of VO dash minus VO double dash. So if you take difference, that will be 140 volt. And what will be polarity? So if you see polarity, this minus plus is 160 volt and this plus minus is 20 volt. So if you see minus plus, that will be plus 140 volt. For example, let's take this point as A and B. So in this case, VAB. So this VAB is given by minus 140 volt. Minus 140 volt. And then what will be VBA? VBA will be plus 140 volt. So you can see magnitude as well as their polarity, minus plus or plus minus. So in this example, we have to find current IL through 10 ohm resistance, again using superposition theorem. So two voltage sources are given. Assume this is source 1 and this is source 2. So according to superposition, we have to find current IL due to individual source. So let us first see when you have source 1. So draw equivalent when we have source 1 only. So this is 1 ohm. This will be 1 ohm and this is 120 volt. 1 ohm and this will be, this is short circuit. Ten ohm. So assume this current is IL dash. So IL dash is current due to source 1. You can find IL dash using current division if you know current I1 dash. So let us first see what will be I1 dash. So I1 dash is given by, we can easily calculate I1 dash, and this value will be 120 volt divided by, you have to find equivalent resistance. So parallel combination of this resistance is 1 ohm, parallel combination of 1 and 10, and that is in series with 1 ohm. So this will be 1 plus 1 into 10 by 1 plus 10. And if we solve this, this value is, this is 120 volt by 1.91 ohms. So I1 dash is 62.8 amperes. So I1 dash is 62.8 ampere. Then apply current division at this node. So IL dash will be given by 1 plus 10 into 62.8 ampere. And this value will be, so IL dash will be, this is 5.71 ampere. So IL dash is 5.71 ampere. Now see second source. We have source 2. So draw equivalent. First source is short circuited. So this will be short circuited. This is 1 ohm. And you have only source 2. This is 100 volt. 1 ohm, and this will be 10 ohm. Take it as IL double dash. This current is because of source 2. So you can further draw equivalent. So this can be again, you can draw 1 ohm. This is 100 volt, 1 ohm. This is again 1 ohm. This will be short circuited. Same circuit can be redrawn in this form. And this will be 10 ohm. This is 1 ohm. So this is IL double dash. Assume this current is I2 dash. So if you know I2 dash, again you can apply current division at this node. So what will be I2 dash? I2 dash is given by 100 volt divided by 1 plus 1 into 10 by 11. And if you solve this, this value will be 52.4 ampere. So I2 dash is 52.4 ampere, and then apply current division. So you will get IL double dash is 1 ohm divided by 1 ohm plus 10 ohm into I2 dash is 52.4 amperes. So IL double dash is 4.76 ampere. So you know IL dash and IL double dash. So according to superposition, you can see currents are in the same direction. So IL will be IL dash plus IL double dash. And what is IL dash? 5.71 ampere plus this is 4.76 ampere. If you add these two, this will be, you can write this as 10.5 ampere, approximately 10.5 ampere. So current through 10 ohm resistance, that is IL, is 10.5 ampere. So in this example, we have to find Thevenin's equivalent across load resistance RL. So we have resistances that are given in this form and voltage source is 90 volt. So you know Thevenin's equivalent. In Thevenin's equivalent, we have a voltage source VTH and you have a resistance RTH. This will be RTH, and that is across B and C. This load resistance is connected. So we have to find VTH and RTH. So let us first see what will be RTH. So RTH is, you know, short circuit resistance. So you have to short the voltage source and measure the equivalent resistance across BC. So this will be short circuit resistance. So you have to short the voltage source. So draw equivalent circuit. This point is B. So this will be 24 ohm. This will be 30 ohm. This is 24 ohm. This will be 30 ohm. Now this will be again 12 ohm. 60 ohm. This is 12 ohm and this will be 60 ohm. This point is B and this point is C. This point is A and this point is D. You can see when voltage source is short circuited, means A and D is short circuited. And then you have to find what will be this equivalent resistance, RTH. Short the voltage source means A and D is short circuited, and then measure the equivalent resistance across BC. So as you can see, in this case, now these two are in parallel, and again 30 and 60, they are in parallel, and that is in series with these two. So RTH is given by 24 into 12 by 24 plus 12 plus 30 into 60 by 30 plus 60. So these are in ohms, both are in ohms. So calculate these values. So what will be this value? If you solve this, you will get this is 8 ohm and this will be 12 ohm. This is 20 ohms. Total is 28 ohms. So RTH is 28 ohms. So RTH is simply 28 ohms. Then you have to find VTH. So what will be VTH? VTH is open circuit voltage. You have to find open circuit voltage, means remove the load resistance and measure the voltage across BC. So let us see, equivalent is, again this point is B, this is 24 ohm and this will be 30 ohm. Draw equivalent circuit. This is C and A and D. This will be connected with A and D, that is connected with 90 volt. This will be 24 ohms. This is 30 ohms. This will be 12 ohm. And this is 60 ohm. This is 90 volt. So now measure this voltage. Open circuit voltage across BC. Measure this voltage. This will be VTH. So you can easily see VTH, that is the voltage drop across this plus this, or voltage drop across this voltage plus this voltage. So assume voltage drop across this is V1 and voltage drop across 60 ohm is V2. So this polarity is plus minus. So what will be V1? You can easily see this V1 will be, in this loop you can use voltage division rule. So this will be 12 ohm by 12 ohm plus 24 ohms into 90 volt. And if you solve this, you will get 30 volt. And similarly, V2 is, now this polarity of V2 will be negative. This polarity will be plus minus and this polarity will be minus plus. So V2 is given by 60 ohm divided by 60 ohm plus 30 ohm into minus 90 volt. So this will be minus 60 volt. So VTH is given by, if you measure VTH, this voltage plus minus, you will get 30 volt minus 60 volt. So that will be minus 30 volt. So VTH is minus 30 volt. So when VTH is minus 30 volt, it means its polarity is opposite. So VTH is minus 30 volt. So minus 30 means instead of taking this as plus minus, you have to replace it. So that will be given by, you can take it as VTH 30 volt and take it as minus plus. So if you take this minus plus, you can take VTH is 30 volt. So VTH is 30 volt and you have to take minus plus, and RTH is 20 ohm. So that is the Thevenin's equivalent across RF. So in this example, we have to find current IL and voltage drop VL across 14 ohm resistance using Thevenin's theorem. Again you can see we have two voltage source. So you know Thevenin's equivalent. So in Thevenin's equivalent, we have a voltage source VTH, that you know open circuit voltage. RTH is short circuit resistance, and then that is connected with 40 ohm. This is 40 ohm. So this will be IL. So if you know VTH and RTH, you can easily find IL and VL. So let us see equivalent for RTH. So in RTH, we have to short the voltage source. So both voltage sources will be short circuited. This is short circuited. This is 10 ohm. This is 20 ohm. This will be 10 ohm and this will be 20 ohm. And this is also short circuited. So measure this resistance. This will be RTH. Now you can see in equivalent circuit, these two are in parallel. So RTH is 10 into 20 by 30. So this will cancel out. 20 by 3, that is 6.67 ohms. So RTH is 6.67 ohms. Now you have to find VTH. So for VTH, again you have to draw equivalent. So VTH is open circuit voltage. So in this case, this is 100 volt and you have 10 ohm resistance. This will be 10 ohm. This is 20 ohm. This is 20 volt. This will be 20 volt plus minus, and this drop is VTH. Open circuit voltage. Remove the load resistance and measure the drop. So we can easily find VTH, this drop. So first we have to find current in this loop. Assume this current is I dash. So you can see this current I dash is given by 100 volt by 10 plus 20 because these are in series. So that is 30 ohm. So this will be 10 by 3 ampere. Now apply KVL in this loop. Let us apply KVL in this loop. So if we apply KVL, you can take it as plus 20 volt plus VTH. So this polarity will be plus minus. So that is minus 20 I dash is equal to 0. So VTH is 20 I dash minus 20 volt. So this will be 20 into 10 by 3 volt minus 20 volt. So calculate this value. So I think this value is, this will be 66.7 volt and minus 20 volt. So VTH is 46.4 volt. So RTH 6.7 and this will be 46.7 volt. So now what will be current IL? Current IL is given by 46.7 volt divided by 6.67 ohms plus 40 ohm. And this will be 1 ampere. So IL is 1 ampere. So VL is IL into 40 ohm. So if you multiply with 1 ampere, this will be 40 volt. So load current is 1 ampere and voltage drop is 40 volt. So in this example, we have to find current IL through 6 ohm resistance using Norton's equivalent. So we have two voltage source and we know Norton's equivalent is you have a current source IN and you have a parallel resistance RN, that is Norton's resistance, and then connect the load. Load is 6 ohm. This is 6 ohm. So if you know IN and RN, you can easily find IL. So let us first see what will be RN. So for RN, you have to short the voltage source. So these two sources are short circuited. This is 9 ohm, this is 3 ohm, and these two are short circuited. This is 9 ohm, 3 ohm. Measure the equivalent resistance, R. So what will be Rn here? Now these two are in parallel. So 9 into 3 by 9 plus 3. So this will be equivalent is 2.25 ohms. So Rn is 2.25 ohms. Now what will be current IN? Norton current is short circuit current. So you have to short the voltage source. Load is connected between these 2 points. So that is, this is 72 volts. This is 3 ohm. And that is short circuited. This is 3 ohm. 24 volt, and this will be 9 ohm, and this is 3 ohm. This current is IN. Now you have two voltage source, so you can use superposition theorem for IN. So due to source 1, when this is short circuited, what will be current? So once this is short circuited, so equivalent will be 0. Current will be simply 72 by 9 ampere. Plus when this is short circuited, 24 by 3 ampere. This is, you will get 8 ampere plus 8 ampere, that is 16 ampere. So Norton current is 16 ampere. So current IL is given by, this is Rn by Rn plus RL into IN. So Rn is 2.25 plus 6 into IN is 16 ampere. And if you calculate this value is 4.36 ampere. So load current is, this load current is 4.36 amperes. So in this example, we have to find voltage drop across 0.6 ohm resistance using Norton's equivalent. So you know in Norton's equivalent, we have a current source IN. Current source IN, and that is connected with, in parallel with RN. And this load resistance is 0.6 ohms. So we have to find this drop VL. So if you know current IL, you can easily find voltage drop VL. So we have to find IN and RN. So you know equivalent for RN. What will be equivalent for RN? You have to short the voltage source. So let us see the equivalent. Short 12 volt source. So this is 3 ohm. This is 2 ohm, and this will be 5 ohm. 2 ohm, 5 ohm, This is 2 ohm. Again this is 2 ohm. Assume this point is A and B. This point is A and B. A and B. So equivalent is Rn. You can easily find equivalent from this circuit. As you can see, these two are in series. This is 3 ohm, not 2 ohm. This will be 3 ohm. So 5 plus 3 is 8 ohm. That is in parallel with 2. So Rn is given by 5 plus 3 is 8. That is parallel combination of 2. So you have 8. Parallel combination of 2 will give you 8 into 2 by 8 plus 2. Again that is parallel combination with 2 ohms. So this will give you, this is 16 by 5. So you will get 16 by 5 into 2. This is 8 by 5. So 8 by 5 into 2 by 8 by 5 plus 2. So this will be 8 by 5 into 2 into 5 by 18. 5 will cancel out. So Rn is 16 by 18, 8 by 9 ohms. So Rn is 8 by 9 ohm, or that is approximately 0.9 ohms. So Rn is 0.9 ohms. Now we have to find current IN. IN is the short circuit current. So you know equivalent for IN. So let us see. You have a voltage source. This is 12 volt. This will be 3 ohm. This is 3 ohm. This will be 5 ohms. This resistance is 2 ohms. This is 2 ohms. And across AB, AB is short circuit. This is AB. This will be short circuit. So that is the definition for Norton's current. When load is short circuited, you will get short circuit current. As you can see in this equivalent circuit, once AB is short circuited, these three resistance will be short circuited because this resistance is 0, they are in parallel. So their equivalent will be 0. So we can draw their equivalent as this is 12 volt, 3 ohm, this is 3 ohm, this is 5 ohms, this is A, B, short circuited. So this will be IN. So what will be IN? IN is 12 volt by 5 plus 3 is 8 ohms. So this will be 1.5 amperes. So IN is 1.5 amperes. Now if you know IN and RN, you will get IL. IL is 0.9 ohms divided by 0.9 ohms plus 0.6 ohms into 1.5 ampere. So this will be 0.9 amperes. And then VL is given by IL into 0.6 ohm. So that is 0.9 ampere into 0.6 ohms. So this will be 0.54 volts. So VL is 0.54 volts. So in this example, it is given that a practical DC source provides 20 kilowatt of power to a 50 ohm load and same 20 kilowatt to a 200 ohm load. And then you have to find what will be maximum power that can be drawn from it. So we have two cases. In case 1, let us see case 1. So in case 1, consider you have a voltage source VTH and this resistance is RTH, and when it is connected with 50 ohm, current is I1. So power delivered P1 will be 20 kilowatt. So we can easily write P1 is I1 square into 50 ohm. So P1 is 20 kilowatt, that is 20 into 10 to the power 3 watt, and that will be I1 square into 50 ohms. So what will be I1 here? I1 will be under root of 20 into 10 to the power 3 by 50. So if we solve this, this will be a 20 ampere. So I1 is 20 ampere. And this I1 will be given by VTH by RTH plus 50 ohm. So you can easily see this I1 is VTH by RTH plus 50 ohm. Similarly, we can see second case. So in case 2, you have same source VTH and this is RTH that is connected with 200 ohms. Assume current is I2. So P2 is I2 square into 200 ohms. So this will give you I2 is under root P2 by 200. So P2 is again 20 kilowatt. So that is 20 into 10 to the power 3 divided by 200. So this will give you I2 will be 10 ampere. And that is VTH by RTH plus 200 ohm. So from this relation you can write what will be VTH. VTH can be written as 10 RTH plus 2000. So you can think equation 1 and this is equation 2. So from 1 and 2, solve equation 1 and 2. So this will give you 20 ampere, VTH is 10 RTH plus 2000 divided by RTH plus 50 ohm. If you solve this, you will get RTH is 100 ohm. And then you will get VTH, and this VTH is 3000 volt. That is VTH and RTH. So maximum power delivered to the load is VTH square by 4 RTH. So that is 3000 whole square divided by 4 into 100. So P maximum is, you will get this value is 22,500 watt or 22.5 kilowatt. So in this example, you have to consider a balanced Wheatstone bridge circuit and then find Rx, current Ix, I1 and voltage drop across each resistor. So that drop is Vx, V1, V2 and V3. So you know that when bridge is balanced, this galvanometer reading will be 0. It means potential at C and D, that is same. So potential at C is equal to potential at D. So Ig will be 0. That is the balanced condition. So under balanced condition, these two are in series because Ix current will flow in this case and then I1 will flow through 1 kilo ohm and 10 kilo ohm. So under balanced condition, you will see under balanced condition, you can write Rx into 10 kilo ohm. That will be same as 1 kilo ohm into 42 ohms. So this will give you value of Rx. So Rx is 4.2 ohm. This will give you Rx is 4.2 ohms. So if you know Rx, you can directly write Ix. Ix is 11 volt by 4.2 ohm plus 42 ohm. So if you solve this, Ix will be 0.238 ampere. And what will be I1? 11 volt by 1 kilo ohm plus 10 kilo ohm. So if you solve this, this will be 1 milliampere, that is 0.001 ampere. So that is the current Ix and I1. Now what will be Vx? What will be Vx? So Vx is Ix into Rx. So Ix is 0.238 into 4.2 and this value will be, if you solve this is approximately 1. And then if you see V1 is I1 into 1K. I1 is, you can take 1 milliampere into 1K, that is also 1 volt. So Vx and V1, they will be same because C and D at the same potential. So potential drop Vx is equal to V1. Similarly, we can find V3. So that is Ix into 42 ohm. So this will be, Ix will be 0.238 into 42 ohms. And if you multiply these two, that is 10 volt. So this is V3 and you can also find V2 is I1 into 10K. So I1 is 1 milliampere. So this will be also 10 volt. So V2 and V3, they are equal, that is 10 volt. And Vx and V1, they are equal, that is 1 volt.